Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Wholistic podcast, a journey to finding wellness within. I'm your host, Jessica Bravo. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today is actually a day that I typically do Wellness Wednesday on social media live. So right now it's Wednesday morning, and I usually go live on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. on TikTok, 8:30 on Instagram, and 9 on Facebook. And so I just thought that it'd be a nice way to share that information with you guys, to tune in with you this morning, and then also just have an opportunity to share and maybe create this as part of Wellness Wednesday going forward, including an episode of some sort. But I wanted to feel it out in a different time frame, and I'm playing with the idea of doing this segment live at a different time during the day. I understand that a lot of people right now have a different schedule, right, than we would have in the past prior to COVID-19 being in the picture. And so some people are available to watch and tune in on lives during the day, and some are only available in the evenings. And so I've been doing it in the evenings just because that's when I tend to be free of watching my child. My son is currently keeping himself entertained watching some superhero cartoons in the background. So if you hear him laughing or anything like that, he's just maybe 10-15 feet away. So hopefully this all works out. But in any case, what I'm trying to say is that I would love to integrate the Wellness Wednesday portion of what I've been doing for the past maybe 2-3 months now, which is essentially a Q&A type of live. That's the intention anyways, is to answer your questions live. And in some cases, there's some Wednesdays where I don't really have too many questions coming in. People are just watching and listening, maybe trying to see what other people are asking, but which is totally fine too. And in those cases, I tend to just speak about something that I think is relevant for that time frame, okay? Whether it be something that I'm going through and I want to share what I've been doing, or just what I've been seeing people kind of sharing collectively through social media or things like that, or things I've spoken to with friends and family and that are health or wellness related. And so, yeah, I think it would be really cool to integrate that as part of the podcast and maybe have a live episode where I tune in with all of you. And so I'm just throwing that idea out there. If you like the idea of having a live episode, whether it be through YouTube or maybe through posting it live through Facebook and then answering your questions in this manner and then posting it within the YouTube and podcast platforms would be kind of cool. So yeah, just playing around with the time frames, whether keeping it at 8, starting at 8 across the different platforms. I'll only, if I keep it that way, where I do it across the different platforms, then I'll only really be able to record live as far as the YouTube and podcast. I don't know. I'd have to figure it out, but I feel like I can only do that live if because right now I'm testing out Zoom and recording this way so that I can potentially go live while I do this recording and saving the video and having the ability to split the audio from the video, all of the things involved in editing and making videos and audio podcasts and whatnot. Not to bore you with that, but basically the only way I can connect this to a live feed is either through YouTube or through Facebook. And normally I do Facebook at 9 p.m. And so perhaps I just keep it at that same time frame, or I change it to a different time within Wednesday. And yeah, that's that. So I think maybe I'll do a poll. I will post a poll if you're watching this through the YouTube channel, or if you're listening on the podcast. Look out for a link to a poll. I'll include it in the description and show notes, and I'll probably put it somewhere on my social media, either as a post or a story, something like that. So just make sure you're following me in one of the platforms of your choice, so that you can kind of stay tuned in and stay connected, find out any announcements and things like that, and changes that could come from just this simple question. So as I did last time, I wanted to pull a card from The Universe Has Your Back and just get a message for all of us. I know the collective, I feel, is feeling a little heavy, perhaps sad, perhaps angry, confused, maybe fearful. After presidential debates last night. And so I'm not one to typically speak politics or anything like that, but I do want to say that whatever you're feeling is valid, and it's okay. I have my own mix of emotions, and so I am allowing myself to feel it, and then thinking of ways that I can take action, so that I can do my part for humanity, for the collective, and caring for others, and not just about myself. So with that being said, here's a card for us all. It says, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Now, how appropriate is that, my friends? All right, I'll read it again. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. That's the card. You'll probably see it backwards, but hey. It all comes down to love, folks. We all just want some love. We all want to experience love. We all want to feel love. We all want love. So let's just share some love. Love your neighbor, right? No matter how different they are from you. That's the true message. All right. So for today, I thought, why not, again, do another card pull of some sort from my own deck. Let's see what comes up. I want to feel it. And this is something that I have been doing on Wellness Wednesday the past few weeks since I've had a copy of my own deck. Since I've had a copy of my own deck, I have, if no questions are coming up, then I'm just sharing a card or two from the deck and just giving an example of how you would use it. But I feel within this platform, because it is what it is, and I'm going longer, or discussing longer and sharing more, then I am able to go a little bit deeper maybe with whatever card I choose, and just focus on one. So let's see, just gonna pull a random card today. Cool, so we got an Acupressure card today. And it's small intestine 7. It's going to be backwards if you're watching the video. SI7, small intestine 7. It is found on the outer portion of the forearm in a straight line that's connecting the pinky side of the wrist to the elbow, okay? And it's found in the groove, if you're watching the video, in this groove between the bone, the ulnar bone, and these flexor muscles. So the flexor muscles are on the inside of our forearm, okay? So in that groove in between, and it's roughly halfway, it's when you slide down the forearm from the wrist down along that groove, there's a stopping point that you can get to before you get into like the thicker part of the muscle belly here. And that's, yeah, but so this is where SI7 is located, okay? And you can press this, you can massage the area, okay? If you have a tool, see if I can slide this through. If you have a tool like I've shown before that has a rounded end, you can use that in order to massage and press the point. And you can simply also just tap, okay? And you can do this on both sides. Now, what is this point used for? All right, this is what I have outlined here on the card. It can calm the spirit, okay? I think we could all use that right now. Whew, it's good for depression, good for fear and fright. How perfect is this point right now after what I've shared earlier? It's good for sadness and anxiety, again. It's good for headaches. So for those of you that have headaches, this is a great point to use. It's good for dizziness and blurred vision. If you're having any sort of visual impairment, you can use this. It's good for hand or finger pain, seeing that these muscles feed into the hands and fingers, okay? And it's also used for an inability to grip or firmly make a fist. All right, so again, this being the flexor muscles on the inside of the forearm. I'm trying to be descriptive with my words because I know some of you will just be listening on the podcast. The inner portion of your forearm, okay, on the palm side, those are your flexor muscles. So they're what allow your wrist to flex and your fingers to flex and make a fist. Okay, so if that is impaired, or if you have an inability to make a strong grip, this is a great point to use, okay? So again, if you're on the outer edge or on the pinky side edge of your forearm, okay, from the pinky end portion of your wrist along the groove between the bone of the forearm and the muscle that's on that inner side of the forearm. If you follow that groove along, slide your finger down and you get to a stopping point right before the bigger portion of those muscle bellies, okay? And that's where you wanna be for this point, all right? And it's again in line between the wrist on the pinky side to the elbow, okay? So, you can use this at any point during your day. If you're doing a self-care practice, doing 1 to 2 minutes of this massaging on this point, you can do both sides. You can do tapping on the point. Okay, you can use a tool. Do this at any point. If you are working at your desk a lot and you are finding that you're having wrist pain or hand pain, if you write a lot and your hands are getting tired easily, you can also just take a break throughout your day multiple times and work this point, okay? Pretty simple to implement when you're doing just one point. If you're using this deck already, if you've ordered your own and you're working with it, then you can easily incorporate it along with other points or other practices within the different categories. So whether it be meditation, movement, nutrition, body work, any of those things, you can incorporate the acupressure right into it, whether it be just one point or multiple points. Okay, so I plan to do a video with just displaying a whole practice, implementing all the categories, all 5 categories that are found within the cards together. And then I'll do another video at some point or episode based on the other 3 categories that are not found within the cards, but they're within the guidebook. And that's the cosmology, feng shui, and herbalism. Okay, so I'll go deeper into all of the categories of the 8 branches of classical Chinese medicine. But I want to keep things simple and share with you. Now, one thing that I've been doing lately, again, I have a tendency with some of my practices to go a long time doing a particular thing, and then I sort of get in a funk, like almost anyone would, and I slip off of that, and I might still do other things that are quick and easy, but then it takes me a while to get back to some of the things that I know work really well for me. And what I've been doing is I have been shaking it out again. All right. So some people, it's a practice found within Qigong. Some people call it shaking medicine. Some people call it bouncing. Whatever name you want to give it. It's in my deck as well. I included it because it's such a powerful practice in and of itself. Whether you do it for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it can be done along with your breath work. And it's truly just powerful. It's so good for moving and circulating your blood, your lymph, moving your energy through your body, waking up your body, releasing energy that does not belong to you, grounding, connecting and tuning into your body. The last episode I talked about breath awareness, and you can use these 2 tools together. So let me find the card because I want to read the description to you guys, to all of you folks out there watching or listening. Let me find the card. Shake it out. All right, here, I found it. That was easy. So, through vigorous movement, the body is able to relieve vast amounts of stored tension or energy. So, you want to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart or in line with your hip bones, okay? So stand in a neutral position. Keep your arms and wrists loose and gently begin to bounce in a swaying or side-to-side motion while keeping your feet planted, lifting the heels slightly. All right, and I'll demo this in a moment. I'll adjust my camera and I will demonstrate. Begin to shake more vigorously, allowing your body to move naturally and intuitively. Allow the breath to follow your natural movement and even yelling or making other sounds that come up for you, right? If you feel called, or just focus on the breath. When you are ready to complete the practice, slow your movements down and return to a gentle bouncing before coming to a complete stop. Give yourself a moment to feel the energy vibrations coursing through your body and then tune in to what you may need at this time. Some of the benefits, like I already mentioned, are to move qi in the body, relieve tension and stress, increase circulation, okay? And to tune in. So I'm going to adjust the camera and I'll be back to show you guys a quick demo. All right, everybody. So I'm going to give you a quick demo. Your feet, legs are in a straight line, okay, coming down from your hips, line with the inner shoulder. And I am barefoot right now. This is the ideal way to do this, but you can certainly do this with shoes on if you are out of the house. Okay, and you're going to keep everything nice and loose and gently begin to bounce. And as you start to increase the bouncing, you can start to slightly twist or rotate and sway side to side. As I rotate this way, my left heel, as I rotate to the right, my left heel comes off the ground just slightly. And as I rotate to the left, my right heel comes off the ground slightly. Most of the weight or pressure is on the balls of the feet. As you begin to end the practice, you are slowly going to decrease the amount of bouncing and the amount of rotation. Bouncing becomes more and more subtle, and invite you to come to a stop, to point your palms towards the floor and continue breathing deeply into the belly, filling the lungs. And feel the energy that's flowing through you. Feel the energy that is connecting from the centers of your palms and down to the floor, and from your feet into the floor. Can you feel it? It's pretty cool. And then slowly just bring your feet together. You can shake the hands out. And that is the practice. And that's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A little bit of acupressure and some shaking it out. Do that as often as you need to. I personally like to do it either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, sometimes both. If I don't get it in the morning because my son wakes up same time as I do sometimes, if I don't wake up early enough, then I'll have to just do it a little bit later while he's playing with something or watching a cartoon or something. Then I'll get up and just for a few minutes do this for myself. All right. It's about taking just even those 1 or 2 minutes to do a practice, whatever capacity it might be in, for yourself, making the choice to do something for you. And that starts to really signal to the body that you are ready to make change, to see the healing unfold from within you. I'm so grateful for you for watching or listening this far. Thank you for being here, and look out, like I said, for some sort of poll to see how you would like to see these Wellness Wednesdays kind of take place. If I should save the recording for just when I go live and have that be the episode, or do a separate one and go on all the platforms still. I don't know. We'll figure it out together. How's that sound? And as a quick announcement, today, September 30th, is the final day to get the early bird pricing on my deck. So I ran an Indiegogo campaign for pre-orders, and that finalized a couple weeks ago and came to a close, and all of the orders have shipped. So those of you that have ordered, you will either be receiving your deck or multiple decks and possible acupressure tools either by tomorrow or early next week, from what I saw Monday was the latest I saw for scheduled delivery. But given current times and some mail being a little bit slower, there could be slight delay potentially. So in any case, those have gone out, but it's still available to order with that early bird or pre-order pricing. I decided to keep that through the end of the month. So this is your final opportunity to just take advantage and get a little bit of a discount, whether you're ordering just one deck for yourself or multiple decks so you can give some as gifts perhaps for the holidays. And in case you don't remember from the last video, Reiki classes are open for scheduling through the end of the year. So check out the link in the description below or in the show notes and subscribe, or I guess register for the class if you feel called to learn Reiki. And subscribe, like, do all of the things, share this episode, and leave a review. I would love to hear from you. I would love any comments or questions that you might have that you want me to cover in future episodes. And connect with me on social media so that we can be in touch and I can answer your questions. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Stay well.